Oh, whoops, I hit the wrong button. Yeah, we hit that other button. You know what I'm talking about. What's up, everybody? What are you doing? What are you doing? It's Friday. Oh my God, guys, it's Friday. Have you been out here? Have you been out here wondering if we're ever going to make it to Friday? It turns out we made it to Friday. Oh my God, everybody. How's everybody doing today? Good to be here. Lovely, lovely Friday, the 28th of 2022, the last Friday of, this is the very last Friday of January in the year 2022. It seems like we had a new member, but then the message retracted. I don't know what happened there. I was going to give a big shout out to John Barnes for becoming a member. I think he rejoined. Did it work? What? I don't know. It seems like he rejoined. We've got a member. We had 3 new members, and we lost some members. But John Barnes rejoining. I can see by your badge that you're back, baby. You're back, baby. I love it. Welcome back, John. Welcome back to the club. It's an exclusive club. It's a club only you people are allowed to join freely if you feel like it. There's no real barrier except for if you want to help sponsor the channel. Oh, my God. Think about sponsoring the channel. If you are somebody who wants content from me full-time, I am your local, not-so-local, minimum wage YouTuber out here. I legit was trying to figure out how to explain this the other day. 72 members now, 72 members strong. Because somebody sent me an email. They said, why do you have to get to 1,000 members? Why don't you just quit your job and go full-time on YouTube? And I was like, well, this is a basic economic decision that I have to make that affects people outside of my immediate comfort zone. My human body, my responsibilities now extend further than my human body to encompass the responsibility I have to my lovely daughter, the Olivia Bear. The Olivia Bear herself requires me to make money so that I can exchange it for goods and services, a.k.a. food, medical care, education, all of that stuff. So my responsibilities aren't just to myself. Because, let's be honest, guys. I am somebody who doesn't necessarily require a whole lot. I know people out there get a little feisty with me every once in a while. They're like, well, why don't you just sell one of your cameras? And I'm like, well, I do sell my old cameras, but then I normally spend that on the new camera to replace the old one. You know what I'm saying. You guys know what I'm saying. But I was like, well, my big issue right now is that I'm less than a minimum wage YouTuber, spending all month working on YouTube stuff, and then you get down to it. It's just like $2 an hour or something like that. And that just, I can't extend my circle of responsibility with those kinds of wages. So luckily, I work for a bunch of people, and I also do work with the Aquarium Co-op, which is a fantastic company. Always recommend to go check out their products. So in a way, they are passively sponsoring my YouTubing here. So, yes, take it with a grain of salt, I guess. If that's the way that you got to do it, then do that route. If you want to be a member on YouTube, you can. If you want to be a member on Patreon, you can. I'm a god. Oh, I thought I had a link today. I don't have a link now for some reason. I had a link. It was right up here. Okay, I'm going to copy it. See, this is why I put it into the chat, because I'm going to copy it. Then I'm going to paste it right in there. If you want to join up, it's in the chat now. You can if you want. If not, you don't have to. It's all good. We'll move on to our normal Friday conversation. But we don't have a lot of people here today. They haven't hit the like button enough for us to get into our normal conversation. So should I just continue to do commercials forever? Should I just do commercials about my own projects? Okay, let's. You guys, the nobody here twisted my arm, so we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. One of the topics that I wanted to talk about today has to do with us relocating to a new location. one of the big major reasons for that is that we've run out of space on this property as far as making fish tankery stuff, fish content, fish room builds, fish room expansion, fish room subtraction, whatever you want to call it. I don't necessarily have space to continue working here and investing time and energy and money and all that stuff into the projects that I have going on here. Now, I do continue to work on my my aquariums here, although I have broken down some. Some of you will be shocked that I've broken down some of them. I have broken down and downsized quite a bit to prepare for the relocation. Relocation is going incredibly is going incredibly slow, mainly because the market here in Western Washington is extraordinarily thin. There's not a whole lot of inventory, as they say in the business. They go, hey, there's not a lot of inventory here, guys. There's going to be encountering a lot of competition. There's going to be a lot of offers made on whatever property that you get into. And then you go, hey, why are you talking in that tone? And they go, well, I'm a realtor. I like to talk like this so that it helps keep people feel calm and comfortable. And you go, I don't want you to be my realtor anymore. I'm hiring that guy who talks like a regular person. And then you go to talk to that guy, and he goes, yeah, there ain't a lot of houses right now, so we're going to do our best to find a good one. This weekend, we will be touring a couple more houses. We're going to check them out. We're going to see what's going on. We're going to kick the tires. We're going to flip all the breakers. We're going to turn on the water. We're going to turn off the water. We're going to look at the roof beams. We're going to, hey, is this foundation cracked? We're going to do all that stuff. So we'll be doing that this weekend, checking out some new places. In my opinion, the sooner the better. Because I would like to get this project on the road, get it rocking and rolling, and whatnot. I realistically, this weekend, I wanted to be starting to work on Alyssa's fish room. We got to get that beam into her basement and stuff. Luckily, her house is fine. Don't worry, guys. We just have to do some repairs for future stuff and then start working on Alyssa's basement. We definitely want to get on that. One of our helpers is MIA for this weekend, so that's the way to put it without giving out somebody else's personal sitch. Yeah, they're MIA for this weekend, so I was like, well, I don't want to get anybody's hopes up and be like, we're going to be there Saturday, so we're actually just going to go and check out some houses this weekend and do that, and hopefully we find something totally cool. It's kind of weird to go check out houses these days with COVID because you really got to set that appointment. You really got to be there right on time. You really got to do those appointments, man. They love it. Yeah. So it's been a little bit crazy, but it shall continue on. Northwest Aqua Hobby says, I understand the need for more room. I'm taking the living room next. We'll see how the fiance feels about that. No, don't do that. I do not recommend doing that. That is not something I would recommend for anybody to do. I don't think that your hobby should occupy spaces within your home that have been dedicated to specific use, like a living room. Living room's typically utilized for, playing with the kids in there. You got some couches. You're going to be entertaining people. You're going to be doing all that stuff. It's great to have like a display tank in there, but I wouldn't let the hobby spill over into the living room. It never goes well with whatever spouse you have. You might have a non-binary, you might have a male, you might have a female, you might have a whatever spouse. I've never seen it go over well with any of them, regardless of affiliation, I guess is the word I'm going to put it. I've never seen it go well when you encroach on the spouse's decrees of living zone. So I that's not something that I would want to do and try to do that, but to each his or her own, right? It's all good. Feel free to give me a follow-up in a couple of months if you do, and let me know how it went down, and if my advice was good or bad. Let me know. Big D Smoke says, was tea. Don't know what that means. Big Dennis, you gotta type more words. You need more words, guy. I love it, but you need more words. I say I love it. I love Dennis, but I don't know what to say to that. Was tea? I don't know, man. I'm working. I'll get my brain working on it, and we'll see what happens. Somebody hopes. Oh, somebody's hopes. My hopes. Yeah. Well, hey, like I said, we're gonna schedule. I have to schedule a couple of guys, and we have to schedule them on the weekend, and it's a little bit weird. But we'll get there. We'll get there. It'll be fine. One of the guys could do it. The other guy couldn't. So it's gonna be best if we have 3 guys to move all that stuff around, to get everything in. That's gonna be our best. That's gonna be our best bet. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Dennis has the rest of the comment. Was trying to help my dog get an itch she couldn't reach, but was in an odd space, bent down, and smacked the hell out of my forehead and the ridge of my nose. Got a cut on my forehead like a boxer. Oh, my God. I'm sorry, man. I don't mean to laugh at you, but that's literally a laughing situation of like, oh, man, I'm going to bend down here and do this totally simple, normal thing that I would do and just whack your head on something. I've been there, and I guess that's the reason why I got to I guess that's the reason why I got to laugh, because I've done that kind of stuff many, many times in my life. Gotta get a little water this time. You know what? I was coughing a lot the last time I did a live stream, and I realized, like, oh, I didn't have any water. That water would have probably been the idea. Northwest Aqua Hobby says, I was kidding. We'd be kicked to the curb undoubtedly. Yeah. It will be. It's not going to go well. I don't think that's good advice. Follow my advice. Not. Don't just go for it. But we do got to give a shout out to Tony Franzen, Pipex, and Aqua Blue Bear for being first to the chat. Hey there, 1, 2, 3. How you doing? Appreciate you for being first to the chat today. It looks like we're kind of slow today on a Friday, but the home search continues. Things look good. We've got 4 locations to look at tomorrow. I will definitely keep you guys posted on Monday how that goes down. We'll see what happens. We'll see what shakes out. I would love to give you guys some kind of premonition on what's going to go down, but it has been a mixed bag. It's been a mixed bag. So I have no real idea what's going to go down. But all of these locations have outbuildings and a shop and all that kind of stuff. So that's going to be the biggest thing. We've just kind of run out of space here. I don't remember exactly what the square footage is here on our property. I think it's like 11. I think we're like 10.5 here. I think we're 10,500 square feet of land. And then we have this little Cape Cod style house, which is kind of spacious because it has an upstairs and a downstairs. But, regardless of that, we need like 2 offices. We need a bedroom for Vicky and I. We need a bedroom for Olivia. And one of the issues that we have with this house is that it really only has 1 bathroom. And it's just like, can you envision if Vicky and I have another kid, if we end up having another kid, and it's like there's me and Vicky and 2 kids all trying to use the same bathroom like 10 years from now or something. And we've thought about adding on to this house. It is in the realm of possibility to add another bathroom, that kind of stuff, but without expanding the envelope of this building, it does not make a whole lot of sense monetarily to be adding a bathroom to this house. It just wouldn't fit. Even I've made the drawings and tried to make it fit and make it work, and it just doesn't. So, and then so you go, well, if you're going to make the house bigger, you go, okay, well, you got foundation, you got electrical, you're going to have to redo electrical, you have to add electrical, you have to add all this plumbing. There's a lot, framing, you're going to change the roof line. There's a lot of stuff that goes into it, although it's not impossible. It's not out of the realm of possibility. You start to really crunch the numbers and go like, man, that's going to be a significant chunk of change. And the thing that we took into account here is that the land is not going to get any bigger if we do that, right? That's always going to be the issue where we live. There's a road over there. There's a house next door. There's a house over there. There's an alley in the back that you can't encroach on. It's just we're surrounded on all sides, and there's never going to be more land where we're at. So that's been our big consideration of what we're doing. The greenhouse with the hydroponic aquaponic system. I got all the plans done. Everything's worked out, purchase orders, all that kind of crap. And then it was like, well, if I build it here, it's going to end up staying here. So I don't want to waste material like that. I don't want to waste resources like that. Building something and then going like, well, it just lives in Tacoma now. So okay, that's there. Now I got to do it again, right? And also everything that goes into getting all those resources and stuff. So that's where a lot of that consideration came from. But definitely looking forward to having a bigger fish room and workspace and all that kind of stuff in the future. You guys know that I was 100% planning on building a new shop here, and the reality started to set in at that point when Vicky and I were discussing the options of what we couldn't do here. And the thing of going like, well, it's probably going to cost about $80,000 once you get down to it, all said and done. And just going like, man, that's like a lot of money, and the land doesn't get bigger here. So, we just started to consider all that stuff and just going like, it's probably best just to consider a different property. And if we are going to consider a different property, it's probably best to move up north. We don't have all of our family up there or anything like that, but we do have some family up north. They live like northwestern Washington. And it's like, oh, well, we'd be, close to them and close to some other people, and that'll be fine. That'll be totally cool. So that's northwestern Washington. You think Bellingham, like they're up there, that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's some quality H2O. I don't know what that means. That's some quality H2O. That's some high quality. Oh, for the water boy, that's a fine high quality H2O. We got ourselves another member today, guys. It's Nature Man has returned to the fold. Come back. Come back into the fold, my friends. Come back into the fold, my friends, and help sponsor making more YouTube videos, man. I gotta occupy some of my space. With making YouTube videos. Some of my time out of the week with making YouTube videos. So, I mean, realistically, we got to make that financially viable. It's got to be a viable thing, Stephen P. Aquardic says undisclosed political beliefs. What does that mean? What is that? I don't know what that means. Anyhow. But we got to update our member count now. We're up to 73. We're on our way to 1,000. We're on our way to a combined 1,000. Sometimes people go 73. We're not even close to 1,000. But you can add in these 144 and come up with a number that goes, wow, we're much closer than I thought. Sephar, I don't know what is your avatar picture? What is that? Is that like... I don't know what that is. What is that? Sephair. Oh, I said Sephar. That's wrong. Sephair? I don't know. Opinions on Dutch-style aquascapes. Too boring? No, absolutely not. I love Dutch-style aquascapes. I've done quite a few. I've done quite a few myself, successful and unsuccessful. I've done both. I've monumentally failed and I've monumentally succeeded. So I've done both of those things, and I do not find them boring. When they're well done, I love them to death. If you got 60 plants in a tank, I will 100% roll my middle-aged body. I was going to say elderly body. I'm not elderly. I'm just middle-aged. I'll roll my middle-aged creaky bones over to your aquarium and put my nose right up against the glass and look right in there and check it out. You know what I mean? I'm going to look right in your tank. If you've got a Dutch-style aquarium that's in good health and good shape and you've got it nice and trimmed, you've got the bush trimmed, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to press my face right up against the glass and look right in there at those lusciously trimmed bushes. You know what I'm talking about? I'm going to do that. That's something I'm going to do, okay? Love Dutch style tanks. They get that underrated charm. You know what I'm saying? They get very much underrated for how awesome they are. Just like the like button on YouTube. Remember, the underrated champion of the world is the like button on YouTube. You probably hear about it 500 million times a day, like I do, and I just about want to never hear about the YouTube like button ever again. If we get enough likes today, we could destroy the YouTube like button and get rid of it into oblivion. Send it into the dark ages where it came from, just like the Necronomicon. We'll send it back to where it came from, and yeah. Atkins Nature Aquarium says, hey, what's up? Sup. Problem Aquarium says, love your species plant profiles. Thanks. Oh, well, you're very welcome. You're very, very welcome. I'm working on a new species profile series editing template, I guess would be the easiest way to put it. I've kind of reconfigured how those videos are going to go, and I've been trying to I've basically been trying to obliterate the stupid TikTok phenomenon, and have to like fall in line because people like 1 minute videos at most nowadays. I'm gonna continue making long format content as much as possible, but it seems to me like the plant profiles will do best if they're a minute and under, and I think that will help people out the most. Joseph Stanley's here. What's up, dude? Atkins says, I've watched Joel's trimming videos so many times I can't get enough of them. Yeah, one of my issues with the plant trimming videos is that I started getting way out there with those. I started just getting like these crazy long videos that don't make any sense, and it's sort of like, why is this a video? You know, and the reality is like I film all this work I'm doing, and then I don't know how to make it concise because it's like, well, it's just me doing stuff for an hour or 2 hours or whatever, you know, and then it's like, well, if I make it into a time lapse, then everything just goes by super quick, and then people lose the minutia that they were looking for of like, well, how does he hold his scissors? You know, because for whatever reason, people ask me questions like that, like, how do you hold them? How do you do this? What is this supposed to be, a 90-degree cut or a 45? You know, like, where do I cut it on the plant? People ask that a lot. So I'm trying to rework the format for that, and try to take all that long form content and put it somewhere that people will appreciate. So I started making these like really long. I started making like really long, like 12-hour long videos that kind of just loop, and I realized like I kind of got them wrong. I kind of did it wrong, so I'm going back and I'm like kind of re-editing those so that they could play on a loop without this dramatic, like the rough cuts and just things jump around and it gets all weird and stuff like that. So kind of working on that, and is it coming along? Sure. Do I only work on it like 20 minutes a week? Yeah, realistically. As far as those long, wacky videos and stuff like that. Stephen P. says, 15-second plant profile shot in vertical format, please, and I'll try to watch 5 seconds of it before flicking to the next video. Sincerely, my 10-year-old daughter. That's right. That's right. Boy, howdy, man, if I could only watch 2 seconds of a video and then just get right out of there, that's just going to be the best thing since sliced bread, right? People love it. People love it. It better be vertical. We don't like horizontal stuff anymore because we always have our phone in our hand. Welcome to the 21st century. It just is what it is, man. I would love to break people out of that. But it's just the force is so much stronger than one individual human like myself could even possibly do. I'm a small creator, guys. I hope you guys know that. Like, I don't necessarily have the resources to take on Google single-handedly, or TikTok, or China, or any of that stuff, you know? Oh, I like that water. That's some high-quality H2O, you know what I'm saying? It's filtered. That's that filtered water. And the ice is filtered, too. God, I'm living the lap of luxury around here ever since I bought that damn refrigerator that cost way too much money. Yeah, that's right. We bought that refrigerator. I have to lurk, for I need to hurry. Today is the turn-in date of our art exhibition, and I promise to help with intake. All right. All right. Interesting comment. One of the things I wanted to talk about today, other than the house hunt and new space, which, I'm going to be doing my best to highlight all of the stuff that I do from the new space. Definitely taking into consideration like what I've learned here, doing remodel projects, doing that kind of stuff. It is mildly difficult to really like film all that stuff and do all the work. I'm going to be straight up honest with you guys. It's a bit much. But the time lapse tactics these days are getting better and better and better. So we'll see how that goes. Stephen P says, got to keep that bush trimmed. That's right. Regardless of political affiliation, you got to keep that bush trimmed. Oh, yeah. One of the things I wanted to talk about today, it seems to me that like a lot of people are signaling about this convoy. A lot of people are politically signaling and being all excited about this stupid convoy that's going on in Canada. And my point realistically boils down to political protesting is good, and if you feel like you got to politically protest, go for it. 100%, 1,000,000%. But with a slight caveat, you gotta take into a slight caveat. Hold on, I'm reading a comment here. Anyhow, back to the method at hand here. I think that the realistic thing is that if you're gonna protest, do it like 100%. I think that is a one of the things. That's one of those things that I think kind of falls by the wayside in most of the conversations. Hold on, I got to respond to the boss. There we go. The boss is messaging me during a live stream. I check in on his live stream when he goes live, but he doesn't check in on mine. He just sends me Facebook messages. So the thing is that I have a bit of a concern here is that it seems to me that the same group of people that are convoying are they're basically blocking a freeway, right? That's kind of their whole reason for convoying. Are the same group of people that got super upset when the World Trade Organization protests were blocking the freeway, when the women's rights were blocking the freeway, when Black Lives Matter was blocking the freeway, when the Wall Street protests were blocking roads. All of those things were going on. This seems to be the group that was extraordinarily vocal about how irresponsible it was to block the freeway, right? And how it's ridiculous that any of these libs would block a road. Now, I will say, I'm not a huge fan of traffic jams. I'm not. But it's an effective thing to get people to be inconvenienced and make them go like, why am I inconvenienced, right? And then you go, here's the reason you were inconvenienced. It's a thing that I'm protesting. And you go, oh, what's the thing you're protesting? You could imagine that it's pretty worthwhile. But I would say that those people that were blocking the freeway were generally blocking the freeways with their human bodies and out there just standing in the road, essentially, right? Whereas right now we've got thousands and thousands of truck drivers apparently driving their big rigs on the road, which makes me really wonder, because the hundreds of gallons of diesel that they're burning, right? How much resources went into acquiring that diesel? How much resource went into them personally getting the money to buy the diesel, and then now they're just burning it in their trucks to drive to the Canadian capital apparently and go tell them that you don't want to get a vaccine. That's like the whole reason that they're doing it, right? It seems that they're like, there's a vaccine mandate or something that they seem to be at odds with, which seems interesting to me, because I think if these people just bought a bunch of diesel and then just burned it like in their backyard in a barrel, you would want to be sensible about it. You wouldn't want to be super dangerous, but would it be that kind of protest where, one of the protests where, I don't know, Carhartt says, "Hey, we're implementing specific safety mandates within our company," and then everybody burns all their Carhartt gear. Is it the same kind of stupid outrage where you've spent money on a thing and then you just throw the thing away, right? Because that's basically what they're doing. They're taking a bunch of diesel fuel and then just burning it just for the sake. Reaver says, had that convoy come through my area yesterday. It is the vocal minority. They are on the way to the Parliament buildings in Ottawa. It's apparently a vocal minority. It's getting their message out. I'm not sure what their message is. It was all garbled nonsense about, unsubstantiated claims about the efficacy of a vaccine, when it seemed pretty clear that most of the people there had zero education on what it was that they were talking about. So I'm not sure what their complaint is, but it seems to be that, like, the tyranny is bad, which I'm pretty sure that everybody thinks that tyranny is bad, correct? Right? Like, is there anybody out there that thinks tyranny is good? I mean, other than the tyrant themselves, but it sounds like a really strange kind of way of just wasting your own resources in order to supposedly be protesting. And on top of that, this always seems to be the group of people that will say, "What do these protesters even have a job? What are they doing? They're out here protesting." As far as I know, this convoy started on a Tuesday, which was a work day for me. I went to work all day on Tuesday, and then they were convoying on Wednesday, which was an entire work day for me. And then they were convoying on Thursday, which was an entire work day for me. And then they're convoying on Friday, which is a work day for me. So I'm not sure if these people have jobs. Do these truckers even have a job? Like, do they have jobs, or do they just have, like, they just weirdly have money to spend on all this fuel to just be driving around for fun? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they don't have jobs. Maybe that's their problem. Maybe they live in their mom's basement. Maybe all these people live in their mom's basement and they're just truck drivers for fun. Is that what's going on? I don't know. I'm just asking questions, guys. I'm just asking questions. I don't know. It's Nature Man says, does anyone build small custom acrylic aquariums in Tacoma? You know what? Not to my knowledge. I don't know. If anybody knows of somebody in the South End that builds small custom acrylic aquariums down here, or anywhere for that matter, we would love to hear about it. As far as like small custom acrylic aquariums, I've recently, over the past 3 or 4 years, Been using TrueView Aquariums, and they're in Arizona, but they do ship. And verifiably, I ordered two small for me tanks. They're not 30 by 18 by 18, but I did order two smallish tanks from TrueView Aquariums. They came in very nice. It took a while for them to come because of supply chain nonsense and things that were going on. So it did take a little bit longer than normal. But it was like I ordered them, and I think they were here in like 6 weeks or something like that. So it wasn't totally crazy amount of time to wait. But they do a great job, and they have a long list of stuff that you can order, and you can just place the order, and then they put it into their build thing. So that would be an option. There was a local guy in Washington who built me a tank, but he built somebody else a tank, and I bought it off of that guy. And it was like, hey, are you interested in more tanks? This guy's building more of these. And I was like, hell yeah. And every time I've hit them up to see if I could get some more tanks from them, because I really like it. It's a shallow, rimless acrylic tank. And it's real nice. It's real nice. I really like it. I want to buy some more of them. Every time I've asked them, I'm like, hey, when are you starting to build these tanks? They're like, I don't know. And I'm like, this is useless. So a while ago, I said, I'm not going to continue to message these guys because it was making me bummed. It was bumming me out. But TrueView, TrueView, I think. Is that how you do it? TrueView E. There's an E at the end. Yep, TrueView Inc. Glass glazing and acrylic glazing solutions. Wait, is that right? No. That's not right. TrueView Aquariums. Hold on. Nope, TrueView Aquarium. TrueView acrylic. No, there's no E. No E. Okay, that was right. Hold on. Let me just get you the damn link. I'm going to get it. I'm going to copy it, and this will take you straight to it. I don't have any affiliation with these guys, so don't worry about that. But I have bought tanks from them, and I think they're cool. I would love to advertise for them, but they were not open to giving me money to advertise for them. So, I mean, I'm going to be brutally honest with you guys. That was the deal I proposed, and they were like, I think we're all right. And I was like, okay, that's cool. I don't know what their advertising budget is anyhow, so it's not like I could have an honest criticism of them saying, hey, we don't want to do that. Acrylic. I wonder if there's any on, if there's even anything on Amazon. There's a Sea Clear on there that looks too expensive. Let's see here. Man, there's not even really anything acrylic on Amazon. Let's see. Can we get a size? Where's the size? 30 by 12 by 18. So I bet you it's the 36. What did you say? 30 by 18 by 18? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what size that is. What size is that? Because the 50 is 36 by 15 by 20. So it's probably a little smaller than that. It's probably like 45 or a 40 gallon maybe. Let's see. A 40 gallon is, it's 40 gallons. Yep. Because you take those 6 inches total and put them over there. So yeah, it's a 40 gallon. Yeah. 30 by 18 by 18 is 40 gallons. But just in case anybody wants to buy a little tiny tank, these little Landon ones that are glass, they're low iron. I like these ones. I like these little tiny busters. Can I paste? Where's my paste? Can I paste? Stupid computer. There. Boom. And if you go over to Amazon, we actually are an Amazon affiliate. So if you go through that link, you go over to Amazon, you buy a bunch of stuff, we're going to get the advertising fee for it. So do that. Go over there, buy all your groceries through the link. Like through that link right there in the chat, go over there, buy a bunch of stuff. Doesn't even have to be stuff that I told you to buy. Just go through that and buy a bunch of stuff. You know what I mean? It's all good, baby. Jeff Bezos does not sponsor this channel. Jeff Bezos sucks. I don't like him. He's a weird robot man. He freaks me out. But we are Amazon affiliates, so, we're affiliated somehow. Are they my boss? No, not really. Not at all. Not at all. I take none of their opinion into account. That's just how it goes. We have such low viewership today. I should have titled this something like really clickbaity. I should have clickbaited y'all. Let's see. Acrylic is a nightmare to clean. No, it's not. It's absolutely not. I don't know why you're saying this. Zephyr says low iron glass to acrylic, which is, you like low iron glass. Okay, that's an opinion. You got an opinion, and that's fine. But it is not more difficult to clean an acrylic tank versus a glass tank. It's not a nightmare to clean. That is unfortunately not an opinion that I can agree with because I've cleaned both, and they're both super easy to clean, realistically. And I find acrylic a little easier to clean myself. Acrylic is rad for the insulation properties. I have a 60-gallon acrylic cube being fully heated by a 50-watt heater. Yeah, actually, that's always something to kind of take into account that I always neglect to mention. They do much better job. Insulating the tank. That's pretty cool. I wonder if I see Alyssa in the chat. Should I call her? Can I call Alyssa? I'm gonna call her and see if she answers.
Hello.
Hey, what are you doing?
I'm cleaning my fish tanks.
Oh my God, she's cleaning her fish tanks, boys.
I know.
And girls.
It's totally topic. I mean, why would I do that?
What's that?
Clean fish tanks.
Oh, it's important. It's important to clean your fish tanks.
Yeah, if you don't, they start to smell bad and then everything dies.
Yeah. It's the most important thing you can do is the human maintenance element to having a nice aquarium, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I just took out 5 gallons worth of guppy grass from this one tank, so I got to make sure I'm on top of the water changes because, of course, it's completely different with how much nutrients it takes up.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
So, yeah.
Let's see. Stephen P. says, I am worried about having an acrylic tank because I tend to be a bull in a china shop, and I know I'll just scratch it one day.
But the thing is, the whole reason why I like acrylic tanks is because I can be a bull in a china shop, and maybe I will scratch the tank, but I won't break it.
True. It's very difficult to break an acrylic tank. It's it's extraordinarily difficult.
Yeah, and I have some really, really nicely made ones that, although they definitely cost me an arm and a leg, they also I don't ever look at them and be like, oh man, do I have to take this tank apart and then fix the silicone? Because there is no silicone. And
that's true.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with the seal. I've got one that's younger than these acrylic tanks, where the silicone looks like it's getting chewed on.
Well,
so
yeah.
I recently have moved the fish out of that tank and into an acrylic tank just for safety reasons. And yeah, I'm just I don't know. Maybe I'll deal with that little glass tank in the future, but right now I don't have time. I'm doing this other stuff.
Right. Well, that's the weird thing. If I never have to take apart and reseal an aquarium ever again, it'll probably be too soon.
Right. Yeah. But on the other hand, though, the glass tanks are so much. Well, I mean, you can get them for way less money than an acrylic tank.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that you can get them like rimless, or at least with very little lip, which makes it a lot easier for my purposes of breeding fish and catching the fish out.
Yeah. You can get
yeah,
rimless
yeah.
acrylic.
Yeah, it's just, it's less common, and especially not if you go to, like, I don't know, like Petco and try to buy a rimless acrylic tank. You're just not gonna find that.
Yeah.
So,
Well, you can find rimless acrylic. You certainly can.
yeah.
It's not as common, but and sometimes you do have to order it. That specifically, because it is
Right.
cheaper. It is cheaper to make a rimless glass tank than it is an acrylic. But I've always kind of forget to mention this, like whenever I'm on the live stream. But if you're talking about a high quality glass tank, right? If you're talking about like a nice low iron, sizable rimless glass tank, it's not really that much cheaper than an acrylic.
Right.
Like people in the States have this opinion that like, oh, a glass tank is like it's 10 cents a gallon. I'll buy it for $5 from a garage sale, have that weird opinion and then go like, well, I'm just saving so much money. And you're like, well, yeah, technically like cheap garbage is cheap, Like you wouldn't say that like, let's say you're eating at the Four Seasons Hotel, right?
Uh-huh.
And you're like, oh, it's really expensive because I can get a McDonald's cheeseburger for 5 cents or whatever the hell that garbage costs, right?
Yeah.
You're comparing, you know what I mean? It's like you're comparing your Ford Taurus to a Lamborghini and then being like, huh, see, Lamborghinis are super expensive. It's like, well, you'd have to compare the Lamborghini to an equated product, not like, oh, well, this is the same thing, right?
Right.
They're
But
both like modes of transportation, but like one is a different quality in the mode of transportation, correct?
for sure. But the thing is, too, is like, so Sepher likes his low iron glass tanks. But that's awesome. You know what? I love seeing the variety of choice and what people like to do with their setups and stuff, because you always get to see something different and cool. And people like to set things up so that they look like they're just like a box of floating water, and I always like that kind of look.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Where it just kind of looks like some sort of magic magician person has suspended water in the air and is defying physics, and then there's like fish and plants in there. I think that's really cool too.
Yeah.
But I like acrylic for a lot of its practical purposes, and I like glass for my purposes, the economy of scale, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a mix of both, and I only have, I don't know, I guess 2 tanks that would be considered high quality glass. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Oh, what happened?
What? No, nothing.
You just said, uh-oh.
I did. I was just saying uh-oh to what you were saying. Don't worry. What are you doing? You're splashing around still?
Well, the water has to fill back up.
Oh my God, are you putting water back in there?
Yeah.
It's Nature Man says I enjoyed my first Planet Aquarium that was glass. Then I smashed it into oblivion on accident.
Oh no.
Which I've been there. Actually, the one that I've seen the most is like leaning onto the tank, and then like the front panel gets pulled loose. Basically, does that make sense? You put like
Yeah,
too much leverage on the front glass.
that is a big fear of mine.
Mm-hmm.
All the time. Like whenever I have to do anything in the tank or reach up, kind of over and grab like a filter, something like a sponge, in order
Right.
to be able to rinse it out and whatnot. It's freaky. I'm always like, oh right, don't lean on this glass. It's gonna be bad.
Stephen P says the main reason I like the cheap Aqueons is so I can throw it away instead of resealing it, but I'm lazy like that. I wonder if people like the cheap tanks because they can just throw them away instead of cleaning them.
I imagine that is pretty common.
Like they just throw it in the trash. Like, this tank's got algae. I'm gonna throw it
Right.
away.
It's disposable. A disposable aquarium.
Disposable aquatics. Oh my god! I wonder if somebody has that YouTube channel. Should we look up and see if somebody has that? Oh my god!
Yes.
Don't autoplay. You stupid YouTube! Don't do that. Let's see if somebody has disposable aquariums or aquatics.
Or just try both.
Well, it would help if I spelled disposable correctly. Did I spell disposable correctly?
I don't know, man.
Disposable. There we go. Disposable aquatics. Let's see if somebody has that.
Okay.
Disposable versus Nikon's. Waterproof 35mm cameras. Nope. Bad weather. This pool give you nightmares. Well, it looks like the search results are pretty good. It puts you in with a bunch of aquarium channels. Well, let's see. Let's go incognito mode. Let's go. Let's go. We're going to go incognito. We got to go incognito. Where's my incognito button? Oh my god,
high quality
I never
YouTube content.
What's that?
It's that high quality YouTube live stream content right here.
Is it? Is this that good? The
so.
good?
I think so.
Where's my stupid where's incognito mode? Oh my god, can you not do that anymore? Hold on, let's see. This is crazy.
Isn't it
What's
on
going
your
on?
browser?
What?
Isn't it just on your browser?
It's supposed to be. Well, there's an incognito mode on YouTube that you can do.
Oh.
But why didn't it it's not I guess it's not here anymore. I guess they got rid of it the other day. They must have gotten rid of it the other day. Let's go incognito Google in then.
Yeah.
YouTube.
Log out of Google first.
Huh? Oh, now I'm going to get ads. Oh, my God. Ads for days. Look at this. This is crazy. Does somebody have the disposable aquatics? Where's our search results thing? God. I don't know how to navigate YouTube anymore. Is it this button? No, it doesn't seem like anybody has that YouTube channel. We've got nothing. We've got nothing. We got videos from Primetime Aquatics. We got videos from Cinto Joseph. I don't know who that is.
Huh.
What is this? This is that. Yeah, you're right. This is that really good live stream content. I mean, what do you guys want me to do? Nobody's even here today, so I'm just talking with Alyssa while she does her her water changes. You know.
Heck yeah.
Stephen P. Aquatic says, now if I could only toss my silverware instead of washing it. Okay, I can actually give you advice on how to accomplish this if this is something that you want in your life, Stephen P. You need to contact your local Cintas Aramark, whatever the commercial laundry company is, okay, in your area. Whatever commercial laundry company that does restaurant, kitchen uniform cleaning services and towels. This towels is the big thing. Those companies will have 5-gallon buckets of miscellaneous silverware from restaurants, and they'll sell them to you as a 5-gallon bucket full of miscellaneous silverware. Then you can just have disposable silverware that's made of metal, and you can use it, and you can just throw it away if you don't want it anymore. There you go. You're going to have to pay for the bucket of silverware, but they charge you in bulk because it just shows up in their laundry, and they just want to get rid of it. They don't want to own it anymore. They're not a silverware company, okay? They're like a industrial laundromat.
That's like an actual piece of advice. Here I was just going to be like, what you could do is you could just eat with your hands.
Well, he said he didn't want to wash them. That
well,
was
I mean, he's going to have to take a shower eventually.
Do you think that that's a true statement that you just made? Who knows? Maybe he doesn't shower either. And he's not really required to take a shower. We would like it that he takes showers.
That's true.
Society.
It makes it easier to get along in society if you take showers.
Society as a whole wants you to wash your body. That's just,
and
that's just going to be how it goes, bro.
Apparently Brad Pitt doesn't.
Brad Pitt?
Apparently Brad Pitt is a smelly guy, and he smells like pits.
Well, Brad Pitt can afford to pay people to like him,
Right.
So
you basically have options in life. You can be incredibly attractive as long as there's not smell-o-vision.
Right.
And look like Brad Pitt, and then you can decide not to take a shower.
Well, I've met some models, some female models in my life. That smelled like they've never taken a shower. And they just put on like patchouli or whatever to cover it up. And it's like, dude, you smell like you've never washed yourself. And you just covered it up with patchouli or whatever. And it's gross.
Back when I had dreads.
Everybody that's like insanely hot gets some kind of leeway from society, But when they get up close and you're like, oh my God, that person was so visually attractive from over there. But then when I got up close, I realized that they were like just a biohazard, right? You're like, I'm out. I got to get out of here.
Right.
But a lot of guys will put up with that for a while. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I bet there's a lot of ladies that would be like, he smells like he's been working real hard or whatever,
But there's such a huge difference between the working hard smell and the
let me tell you a moment. I was
marinating in your own stank.
I'll tell you a funny story here from my history. Personal anecdotal story here. Okay? Coming right up. So I've dated a bunch of girls named Kelly, so this isn't a specific one. But this is one of a Kelly, right?
Okay.
I was dating this gal named Kelly, and things were going good. Everything was fine. We're having a ball. We're having a good time. You know what I mean? We're having fun. We're doing stuff.
Yeah.
Activities. Things were happening. Dinners, activities, all sorts of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then one day, this is back. I used to smoke cigarettes and stuff. I quit that. I quit that business a long time ago now, 3-4 years ago now. But I used to smoke cigarettes, and one day she goes, oh, "I love the way you smoke. I love the way that you smell like cigarettes. You smell like my dad." And I'll tell you something. I want to tell you something. That was the moment that I was like, oh, this is over.
Yeah.
I shall no longer be engaged with this relationship at all. That was it for me. I was like, oh, you creeped me out, and there's no coming back. There's no coming back from that level of creep out, you know? It was like,
Yeah.
oh, we good. We good. No, lose my number. Gotta go. Like,
You
oh
get
my God.
all new phone who dis.
It's like, oh, you smell so good like my dad. Oh, God. No. That's disgusting. Ugh.
She's all dropping like this gigantic red flag on you.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Yeah. It was like, I mean, the hugest red flag. Like the red flag to end all red flags, you know? It was like, oh, my God.
Right. You're like, what is all this red?
Yeah, what is this? It's like a parachute-sized red flag. Oh. Yeah, I had to get out of there. That was it. That was it for me. It was like, nope,
Yep.
this is bad news. I got other things to do.
Yep, I understand that one. That's crazy.
Yeah, it was like, oh my God. It's it's one of those things where it really, like, when you have a standout moment with somebody like that, where it's like you can distinctly remember the moment where it's like, no, this is not good. We can no longer associate anymore, you know?
Right.
It's like if
And
somebody told me that they love and adore Donald Trump, I'd be like, oh, we're good here. I'm done.
Yep.
Gotta go.
Yeah. I had an opposite reaction from some people back when I had dreads. Because people would be like, oh, I love the way that people with dreads smell. And I was like, what? And then they would come up and just, like, without asking, stick their nose in my hair.
Oh.
And then be mad at me because I would just wash my hair instead of just letting it grow stank and then cover it up with patchouli and tea tree oil. And I was like,
Right.
you guys make me tired. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, that's not good. It's too much.
It was weird.
I gotta say, like, I don't like it when like rando people come up and touch me.
Yeah.
And
it's like,
and I never really
space.
it never really occurred to me where I just go like, I'm just pissed, like, stop touching me. That's disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
Get away from me, weirdo. Right? But I never really realized, like, how different the internal reaction has got to be for women, if you're just, like, having a conversation with them and I'd be like, oh, I'm friendly touching your shoulder, like, hey, like, we're buds, and I don't realize, like, I probably just offended the shit out of somebody, Look, and I don't realize, like, the internal, like, I'm just trying to be friendly, that's all. But I don't know every person's history,
There was, speaking of that specifically, there was one dude who, I don't know why, I couldn't tell what his intentions were by his body language, really.
Right.
I was just trying to be just friends with this guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And one day we're, like, sitting there and we're watching something.
Mm-hmm.
And he just, like, reaches over and, like, for no reason starts, like, doing the bro tap on the arm, and I'm like, what? And he just keeps doing it, and then I just never talked to him again. I lost his number. I was like, no, I don't know what's going on.
What's the bro tap on the arm? I don't know. You got to describe this to me.
Oh, it's like when you're like, oh yeah, guy, and then you, like, give him, like, a gentle punch in the arm kind of thing.
Oh.
But it was like the whole back of the hand instead of just, like, a punch in the arm, and it was, like, weird at weird times, and I couldn't figure it out, and I was like, somehow I'm getting this vibe, and I just don't want to be around this person anymore, and I just don't. So I stopped showing up. I stopped hanging out with this guy completely.
That is weird. I don't know. That one, I'm still confused by it. I think, well, next time we do the show together, you can demonstrate it for me, and I'll be like, I can judge you whether or not you were correct or not.
Okay, but it would have to also involve kind of like some like creepy, almost sexual lusts, and I didn't want to deal with that
Oh,
anymore.
oh, I don't know.
So
I don't know how to do that. I only know how to do that for Vicky. So sorry,
yeah, and
I
I
won't
don't.
be able to pull that
I
off.
feel I feel really weird
Yeah, don't be a
doing that.
weirdo, dude. Hey,
Yeah,
hey, don't be a
I don't
weirdo.
want to.
Don't be a
Yeah, I
weirdo,
don't
man.
want
Come on now. Come on.
to. Yeah, it was not okay, and I was just like, no, I don't need to hang out with this person. I've got lots of friends.
Right. Right. Like I got other people to deal with. Well, it's weird. Like, I mentioned the Trump thing because I was talking with my cousin the other day on my 5 mile an hour road trip home deal,
Uh-huh.
and we were kind of talking about that where it's like, oh yeah, man, it's been really weird because of COVID and stuff, and the Trump presidency and all this like weird vibes that have been going on forever.
Uh-huh.
And it was like, yeah, you realize like I have lost some friends that have gone down that weird rabbit hole of like, they're like screaming about tyranny and losing their minds and all this like weird nonsense. Like, it's very weird. Like I had a friend of mine who was going crazy about how white people are going to become the minority in the United States. And my my response to that was probably like over the top a bit, I will say, but also like you're literally throwing out there like the talking points of neo-Nazis. Like, and you somehow think that this is okay. Like, no, this is what I think. And it's like, really, dude? I've known you for 30 years, and all of a sudden now you're concerned about becoming a white minority. What is going on? Like, what?
Yep.
And then it's like I'm supposed to give them compassion. You know what I mean? It's like you're supposed to be compassionate with them, or they won't know. They won't know that people still love them. And it's like, I don't know, man. This guy's like 3 steps away from building gas chambers, man. Like, what are you talking about? Am I supposed to be nice? How long am I supposed to be nice for? Like, what? At what point?
Right.
Is it okay for me to no longer be nice, right?
And people have been talking about this forever.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I remember I had a work pal back in the early 2000s.
Right.
And he was this like, I don't know, is the word swarthy? When you got like the dark eyes and the dark hair and maybe you tan well, but you're a white guy. And so he was like, man, so I was reading today, it's so sad. We're like blonde people, blonde with blue eyes, they're gonna be extinct soon. And I was like, what are you talking about?
Right.
And he goes, yeah, they're gonna be extinct. And I'm like, they're not gonna be extinct. It's a what's it?
What's that? You dropped out. Uh-oh. We lost Alyssa.
A non-dominant trait.
Oh, there you
It's
are.
a non-dominant trait.
What was it? Hold on. What happened? You dropped out there for a second. What's the non-dominant trait? What?
Oh, blonde hair and blue eyes.
Oh, that's going to go away?
Yeah, he was like, yeah,
well, who
it's going to
cares?
be extinct. And
who
I was
cares?
like,
who cares?
Who gives a crap? And then
who cares?
No one
cares.
Was like, it's so sad.
Right.
And I was like, it's not sad. And I was like, and besides, like, if you, Mr. Dark Hair and Dark Eyes guy, if you marry one of these blonde haired, blue eyed gals that you like so much,
right,
you are going to be promoting this quote extinction on your own.
Actually, hold on. You've met my daughter.
Okay. Yeah.
Have you noticed her hair color?
Well, I just assumed that she was blonde because she's, because you're what, Danish or something?
Right. Am I blonde-haired and blue-eyed?
No, but like
is Vicky blonde-haired and blue-eyed?
I was blonde-haired and blue-eyed.
No. Is Vicky blonde-haired and blue-eyed? No. Okay. So we have a blonde baby. So let's question for just a second whether or not your friend has any idea how genetics work at all.
Yeah, for sure.
right? Like
And so I'm sitting there,
zero idea, right? And so it's like,
right?
but also, who cares? You know,
Yeah,
like,
it didn't freaking matter.
yeah, yeah, it's just bizarro world. We're living in bizarro world out here. But one of the reasons why I wanted to say, like, it's crazy that somebody would be bringing up those kinds of talking points, because as I think I've conveyed enough times on the internet, like, you guys know, I have always been a part of, I guess, what people would consider a counterculture or whatever. I was a punk rock kid. I've got a lot of tattoos. You guys know I got mohawk. I hung out with all the weird divergent people, all the blue-haired weirdos. You know, come on. That's me. That's who I am. I hang out with the weirdos, right? That's my jam. Those are my people. I also hang out
You,
with the normies too, right? I hang out with you all. I'm down with all the peeps, right? I'm not down with hateful pieces of trash, and I never have been. And I've always been very motivated against hateful pieces of trash. And one of the examples I could give you of that is that when I was a kid, one of my favorite bands was called Black Flag, who was a punk rock band that was anti-hate, right? And they wrote a song making fun of all of the Nazi kids in 1983. Okay? Talking about how talking about the insecurities of these white kids, talking about how they're going to be a white minority. Now, that was 39 years ago, written by Henry Rollins, right? It's one of the first songs that he wrote when he came into Black Flag. Although he's my least favorite lead singer of Black Flag. My favorite lead singer of Black Flag is Keith Morris. But regardless of any of that, that's 39 years ago, where these stupid Nazi these stupid Nazi talking points existed 39 years ago, right? So it's not even a
yeah,
matter in my mind of going like, oh, this is new. Oh, no, they've just managed to push it onto things like Fox News over the last 39 years and figure out how to get Tucker Carlson just to ask questions. Well, I don't know. I'm just asking questions. I'm Tucker, who, by the way, is super insane rich kid, just like Donnie Trump, who's hey, I'm the one, I know all about it. Like, okay, well, really? Are these the people that we want to be representing us? Like, I don't think so, but hey, you know, what are you gonna do? Reaver
right.
says all of my kids are blonde. I'm dark haired and dark eyed. Yeah, that's you know, this is, for people for anybody to act like I understand genetics and I know what's happening and blah 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 blah. And by the way, if you're like an insecure white person that is worried about becoming a minority, it's like, why are you worried about it? What's your motivation, huh?
Right.
What's your motivation? Why are you worried about becoming a minority? Why is that a bad thing, right? It should be fine, right? Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like this guy, whose name is.
You dropped out. We lost Alyssa. There you
I
go.
know, right?
Okay, you're back.
Sorry, I'm in the basement. You know how it is. I really doubt that this guy, whose name is Tim, is going to be watching this show. So I'm just going to call him Tim. I'm pretty sure that his motivation was that blonde chicks with blue eyes are hot. But still,
Right.
I'm like,
I don't know. He probably hangs. I'm
them.
guessing that this Tim person probably hangs out with unshowered gross girls.
I don't
He's
know.
probably gonna catch scabies from one of them and get an infection and probably I don't know, blame it on some
Something.
You know what I mean? You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Yeah.
I do. It's just a weird.
What do you think about this convoy? You think this convoy is gonna do it? You think the convoy is gonna keep on trucking?
Change.
You think
I
they're
don't
gonna keep
know,
on
man.
trucking?
Whenever
Do you think
anybody
do you think that the Canadian government is gonna legislate, like they're gonna legislate new legislation because some truckers are driving around?
I highly doubt it, but I don't really know I don't really know that much about Canadian politics other than what directly affects my my cousin and his family.
Right. Canada makes no sense to me. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's weird because Canada, because Canada's like, it's like another country,
Yeah.
even though we know it's
It's
not
a whole
really,
other
but
country.
I mean, it's like another country,
Right.
whatevs, right, bro?
Right. It's yeah. I don't know, man. I just think whenever anybody's talking about convoys, I just think of that "Come On to the Convoy" song that's from like the '60s. Like,
Oh, they're like, we got a great big convoy trucking
yes.
through the night. Convoy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that. Man,
Yep.
why is it every time you get on here, I'm going to get a copyright strike? Although I'm not going to look the song up because last time we listened to 8 seconds of that song and I got all my advertising dollars got stolen, which turned out to be $3.89, which is ridiculous, man. I need $3.89. Do you think whoever wrote that song, whatever song it was, I can't even remember anymore. I'm not going to mention them because they're probably going to copyright strike me for even bringing it up.
Right.
I got it overturned, though, folks. I got it overturned, but they got to keep their $3.89 that I was going to make. I did a 2-hour show. I made $3.89, and whoever holds the rights to that song got to take it. But the funny thing is if you're a member or a super chatter or a patron, they can't take that money. Ha ha, suckers. Which, by the way, that's why we want to get to 1,000 members and patrons, because they can't affect, like YouTube can't just say like, oh, we're going to take membership money because you played
8 seconds.
Danzig's song. Glenn Danzig was all, mother, tell your children not the children. How does that song go?
Tell your children not to walk my way.
Did you ever see that video when Glenn Danzig just got knocked out?
No.
Oh my God, it's
I
the
really
funniest.
want to see it.
It's the funniest video you've ever seen in your entire life. So he was like, they hired this metal band from Texas to play the middle opener. Does that make sense? When a big band plays, they have like 2 bands play, and normally normally the first band really sucks and no one's ever heard of them.
Yeah.
And then the second band is like a local popular band. And then the third band is the headliner who's like nationally popular or internationally or whatever, right? Well, these guys were the middle group who were actually doing really well. They had a big following. A lot of people showed up. Danzig decided to just skip the opening bands.
Huh.
Because he was tired and just wanted to play and leave. It was basically the whole reason was just like the most selfish reasons. It's like, I just don't want to play later. I want to play now. Right? You're like, okay. So I guess they played, and the lead singer from the local band was super pissed. Was like, dude, what the hell, man? Like,
right.
And
like,
Danzig
now who's
goes,
gonna
you guys can go play now if you want. And he was like, you turned on the house lights. Everyone's leaving.
Right.
So big, you got to think like big center, whatever, big venue. They turned on the lights. And then so Danzig like told this guy to F off and was yelling at him and screaming at him. And then he shoved that dude. Now, if you know anything about Danzig, he's like 5'5" or something. He's a super short dude. This guy's this guy's towers over him. Huge guy, 6'5", something, big Texan dude.
Yeah.
Danzig shoves him and the guy like doesn't move. So Danzig gets pissed and the guy shoves him back a little bit and then just knocks him out. And so Danzig tried to sue him for knocking him out.
What?
Like he tried to get him arrested, but somebody had filmed it and was like, you shoved that guy first, Danzig. Glenn.
Right.
And it was like, oh, well, I guess he could sue you then.
Right. What the hell?
Yeah. It's super funny. It was just like, oh my God.
You can't just sue because you're humiliated.
Right. Yeah. It's just so funny. Like, You try
I
to get him
started
arrested and
something and
stuff.
I
It's
couldn't
just like,
finish it.
yeah. It's that whole like, well, you started this fight. He finished it. You're the one that's in the wrong here. You know, their chief. So
Go home to your cats, Danzig. Go
right.
home to your cats.
I'm not a fan of anybody getting knocked out. I'm not a fan of violence. But if people defend themselves, I'm a fan of that. You know, if you're being attacked by somebody, you have a right to defend yourself, and that's what happened.
Right.
So, I can't help but laugh. Why you picking fights with giant dudes when you're a little tiny angry guy?
He, you know, like I know that Napoleon Bonaparte was not actually all that short compared
No.
to other people of his age, but Glenn Danzig, he's like the epitome of Napoleon complex.
Right. Well, they used to just make fun of. Oh my God, he's 5'3".
Yeah.
He's even shorter than I thought. I was making fun of him, saying he was like 5'6" or something, but he's 5'3". He's like abnormally tiny.
Right. So Danzig really likes a friend of mine who used to do a lot of merch for metal shows out in New York, because she is only 5 feet. Mm-hmm. And he only likes women that are shorter than him. Ew. And so he would always try to, you know, with my extremely short metalhead chick friend. Mm-hmm. But she has a policy of never, you know,
dating
she's
Glenn
not
Danzig?
A star. Yeah, she's not a star sleeper around her.
Sleeper around her. Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I know what you're trying to say without swearing, but okay, got it.
Yeah. She's not one of those people. She's got policies, you know, standards. And
she's got policies. Oh my God, does she have policy prescriptions written out on paper? That would be brilliant.
I think she probably does. But
it's like right at the top of that sheet of paper. It says, "Do not have sex with Glenn Danzig."
Right, or Peter Steele.
Or Peter Steele. Like
right.
Those are good policies, I think.
Yeah. She said, yeah, that was she's got some photos of Peter Steele
being a creep.
Anyway,
yeah, creepy dude.
So, yeah, love him, miss him, but man, yeah, I'm okay not meeting the guy.
I wish we could listen to Black. What is it? Black Number One, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We can't listen to it. We'll get a copyright strike from Peter Steele's Ghost.
Right. Or just Typo Negative and their subsidiaries or something like that.
No, but, it's his ghost. It's his force ghost.
His giant freaking ghost.
Giant force ghost. Like, Peter Thiel, force ghost, why didn't you see this happening in the past? Why didn't you get this, you know, why didn't you get this figured out a long time ago? That we wouldn't end up getting a copyright strike.
Space Ghost. Space Ghost, coast to coast.
Oh my God, John Barnes and It's Nature Man became new member, or It's Nature Man repaired his membership, so we trust that.
Yeah.
I wonder if John Barnes feels like he made a bad decision today to join up and become a member.
Because we're talking about
Peter Steele, Force Ghost, and Glenn Danzig.
And Glenn Danzig. And Glenn Danzig being a jerk.
Yeah.
But it's Glenn's fault. He's a jerk.
It is Glenn's fault. He has no excuse. Because Henry Rollins is at least as famous as Danzig, if not more. And he's also short. And is not a pompous, arrogant dirtbag.
Right. However, I am much more amused by the music that Danzig puts out than I am by the music that Henry Rollins puts out.
Really?
Yes. I mean, if you want to listen to like goth rock and kind of giggle, that's what Danzig is. You know, like, am I demon? I need to know. Like, really? Am I beast or am I human? What?
It's very weird. That's very yeah. I mean, it is more comical, that's for sure. But you've heard you've heard Am I a Liar, right?
Probably.
Yeah. That one's pretty funny. You probably should listen to more Rollins music because it's pretty funny. It's got some giggles in there.
Yeah, I mean, I know too many like really serious goth chicks who don't like it when I say that I love Glenn Danzig's music because of how hilarious it is.
It is pretty fun. It's pretty comical. I'll give you that. I will.
It is.
I will grant you that one. There's a definite points of comedy in there.
Yeah, for sure. Like he's just because it's like he's either taking himself too seriously, or he's specifically making fun of goth culture. And either way, it's hilarious.
True.
And I enjoy that kind of thing. Like as somebody who tried very hard to be a goth chick back in the 90s and early 2000s and occasionally dabble in it even today, I enjoy poking fun of it.
See, Aubrey's saying Rollins is 5'9", which I think is accurate. Which would put him on the short scale. I don't know, man. If you're 5'8", 5'9", aren't you like on the short scale? What's average U.S. height?
Average male in America?
Yeah, I'm looking it up.
Oh, okay.
Average height for men worldwide. The average American man stands just under 5 feet 10 inches.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm like above average tall then?
Yep.
How is that possible? I don't feel like I'm tall. I don't feel like I'm short either. So I guess I have both of those feelings in case anybody out there in listening land was wondering. I don't have those feels.
Well, considering that the moniker of short versus tall, they're very subjective depending upon who it is that you're around.
Oh, no doubt. I've got buddies that are like all 6'5", and I feel like, oh, what's going on here? Am I a midget? Right. Am I a tiny midget? And it's like, no, these guys are all freakishly tall.
If I go hang out near like my extended family, everybody is like 6 foot plus, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then if I go and hang out with Justin's extended family, everybody is like 5 foot.
5 foot, yeah, period.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, just like super small. And so, yeah. And it's funny because it's like some of them are like, "Oh man, I'm too short," blah blah blah, and I'm like, "You're only short if you're hanging around with like me."
Right.
If you went to
oh my God, I'm the exact height for Denmark. The average height for Denmark is 182 centimeters, or like just shy of 6 foot.
Hey, check you out.
God, I fit right into Denmark. We should move to Denmark. We gotta go visit. I gotta go visit Denmark. Sorry, I don't think I should move there yet. I should go see if it's chill. You know?
Right. Don't do like I did, and just like move to someplace without ever even having gone there before.
You moved to the West Coast. I mean, come on.
It's true.
You know what I'm saying? You moved inside the country. You moved to a better part of the country. Clearly. Yeah. Hands down. No one, irrefutable evidence, you know? Yep.
Yeah. No, I don't have any regrets. I mean, I've got, not from not overall, not after how everything worked out for me. But yeah, it's, I did feel a little bit insane when I did it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just move to Seattle. No job lined up. No nothing. Yeah. Don't know anybody.
In centimeters, I'm 182 centimeters tall, which is 0.03 less than 6 foot. Whatever that. I don't know what that works out to in because 183 centimeters is 6 foot 0.00 or 01, right? So, yeah, I was trying to figure that out. I'm 182 centimeters tall is how tall I am, which is a half of a centimeter taller than the average in Denmark. So, well, look out, Denmark. Here I come. Here I come. Watch out. Coming out there. I'm going to be slightly taller with shoes on than all the other Danes out there. And I shall look down upon them with great disdain. I shall besmirch upon them with my height and let them know, hey, I'll go like this. I'll go, hey, what it is, y'all? And they'll be like, oh, are you American? And I'll be like, yeah. And I'll be like, you speak English? And they'd be like, no. And then they leave. And I'll be like, I can't even smite you. I don't even have a thorax or anything like that. Oh my God,
Thorax.
Rosie's motivating me by putting a super chat in here to answer her question, which I was already going to answer anyhow. But thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. 100%, Rosie. You could have had 2 months of membership over on Patreon for $2. I just got to remind people that, Or you could just have a permanent green name with a badge. Rosie says, I have a 90-gallon and just got an FX4. I love it. Where should I position my power head, or should I even use it? Thank you. Love your show. So, for me, I really only use power heads if I'm finding that, I need flow somewhere for a specific reason, like, a bunch of stuff's getting hung up in a corner or off to one side or something like that. Otherwise, I just don't run any power heads anymore. I know a lot of people really love the extra flow from power heads. I personally only add flow when it's necessary to like get detritus and stuff stirred up, or a specific application like for a fish or something like that. In the past, I used to use power heads for directional CO2 application, which you can put a power head in an aquarium. You can run a CO2 line into the intake so that the bubbles are just popping out and getting sucked into the intake and blown right back into the tank. I used to do that, which was more or less experimental stuff to see how well like direct applied CO2 would allow plants to grow faster or more effectively. But the reality turned out to be like the plants, air quote, grew faster, but the biggest effect you would see is that they would be more sort of robust, and they generally would do a lot more rooting when they had that much CO2 on them. So does it do something? Yes. Is it something I recommend? Not really, unless it's something you're specifically going for to trigger rooting in plants and stuff like that. So if that's something you're trying to do that. If not, I just really wouldn't worry about it that much. But those are the only two reasons I really use power heads. You got anything that you're using power heads for now?
I use power heads for extra flow, for aeration, for my plecos.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. That's a good point. I aerate through my sump, so I don't normally ever have to really worry about that aeration problem that people have.
Right.
But I would say an FX6 is enough to turn over most of the water in Corey's 800. We used the FX6 on his pond, but we also had another filter on there too, so it was two. It was the FX6 and another, what the hell was that thing called? It's like a big old canister. I can't remember the company name, but the handle on it was bright yellow, and the body of it was gray, if that triggers anybody's remembrance. I don't know who made it. I can't remember. But the FX6
or
was
Sunsun?
it? What's that?
OAC or Sunsun?
No, it wasn't a Sunsun or anything like that. I think it was a pond filter, but it was
No.
equivalent. It was equivalent to the FX6. It had basically the same size pump and everything in it, and it was about exactly the same size. So, I figure if two of those is enough for that pond, then your FX4 and a 90-gallon is assuredly plenty. But you can always split the return line, so the water that's coming back into the aquarium, you can get a little fitting that splits it into two, and get a little. Oh, actually, let me see if I can't find the link for it. I'm gonna see if I can find the link. What do you got? What do you got interesting, Alyssa? While I find this link.
As far as like stuff going on in my fish room, one of my Scarlet Baddis has finally matured to be an actual male, all shiny and stuff. And then I've got Elasoma gilberti have bred in the upstairs tank. which is the only aquarium that we have upstairs. And I've decided this time I'm going to feed them, the tiny little babies. And I finally like dug my vinegar eel culture out of storage, and I'm actually feeding them that because they're so tiny. They're too small for baby brine shrimp or anything like that. So.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty sweet.
That is pretty sweet.
I'm hoping they last and don't get eaten by something.
Have you got any of your scarlet batis to like completely breed yet?
Oh yeah, I started with 3 and now I've got 21. So.
Well, when you get an abundance, I'm gonna buy some off of you because I like those little guys.
Sounds good.
And I don't know if anybody has any right now.
Yeah, I mean, other than like just having the males, but I do have males and females now, which is pretty cool. And I moved the whole colony into the 60 cube, and they seem to be doing well in there. They've all kind of picked out their little territories. Although the one that is a full grown with color and whatever male, he seems to be picking territories all over the tank.
Oh yeah.
He's like, no, I want all the territories.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, all right.
It's always like super difficult to deal with like wacky aggressive fish, but and I'll be honest with you guys, oftentimes it's impossible for me to net wacky aggressive fish out of my aquariums. There's just too much stuff packed in there, too many plants and sticks and rocks and stuff. There's no way I'm going to catch that fish. But one of the few ways I've ever been able to get an aggressive fish to chill was to net him out, put him in a bucket in the dark for 12 hours till the next day or whatever, and then put him back into the tank before the lights turn on. That will typically chill out an aggressive male. Not guaranteed, but you know what I mean? Like, it has a tendency to work to get him to calm down.
At the very least, he doesn't seem to be like fighty aggressive. I think he's just like going off to places and being like, ladies, hello, I'm pretty. And then he'll go to another area and be like, hello.
Okay, good. He's just, he's just doing his thing. He's trying to he's trying to find his own version of Peter Steele, to mate with, right?
Well, he's probably trying to find he's trying to find a girlfriend, I assume. Well. He wants to be Peter Steele.
Man, I'm telling you, we're not very popular today. People must be like watching this convoy on live stream or something. What's big in the news right now?
Out.
Huh?
It's sunny outside.
Okay, yeah, that's specific to our local area, dude.
No, I think
it is sunny
here,
outside.
It's just sunny everywhere.
Well, yeah, it must be sunny everywhere. Okay. It's dark somewhere.
Sure. I know.
Right. Let's see. What's in the news today? James Bond sucks. I really want to watch this piece about... I don't know if you guys have ever heard about this, but there's a hydraulic... so there's this art display of this machine.
This video's...
It's in this big glass box, and it has this telescopic arm, and it vacuums up the hydraulic fluid back into itself while it leaks hydraulic fluid out of itself. And it needs the hydraulic fluid in order for it to continue operating. And it is one of the craziest art displays where I've never seen something that is a robot like that evokes like a human emotion out of humans. And it really certainly worked. The art installation really, from an unexpected direction, like deeply affected a lot of people. And it eventually wound itself down and died. It was a robot that died. you know, as an art installation just to keep itself, you know, it was an art installation of a robot that was trying to keep itself alive, and it eventually just ran itself to death. And
Oh
a
my
bunch of
God.
people cried when the machine died, and it's really sad. Now, I happen to have extra knowledge that most people don't. It has come out that that machine was actually operated by electricity, and it was programmed to do that, and it still would function fine. It's the hydraulic fluid didn't have anything to do with its operation. So it actually was just programmed to do that, and that to me is an extra layer of awesome, really, that the artist was able to go like ahead of time, realize that this would affect people regardless of the necessity of the machine to actually do keep itself alive, right? Does that make sense?
Is it weird that I feel like offended that I was lied to by the thing?
Well, you weren't lied to. It needed the fluid in order to stay alive. Like, it did. Like, that's not a lie. Like, on the surface level, like, it's not a lie. It needs this fluid, otherwise this machine is going to die.
Uh-huh.
Because it needed that fluid, and then it died. So the statement within itself was true. The inevitability of its death was what was unknown, right?
Oh, okay.
To the viewer, right? But to the author knew that this machine was going to die, right? That to me is just such a layer of depth that it's difficult for me to wrap my mind around, that like somebody was actually able to come up with something that is this level of thought, right? And knew that this would affect people when it did die, right?
Right. Yeah, for sure. I mean, people are funny that way. That's why we adopt dogs and stuff.
Yeah, and to me it was like really astounding that somebody was able to go into that depth of into that depth of thought realistically. It's really interesting, realistically, to me, that somebody was able to actually get that kind of far down the rabbit hole as far as art goes. I mean, I know you guys. I know that most people kind of realize that I really love making art. It's what I want to do. You know, I posted. I think I maybe reposted from you, Alyssa. I'm not sure, but I posted that meme about like how everybody's an artist until rent's due, basically.
Yeah.
It's like the rich kids are able to almost always choose the path of some kind of art, you know, because money is not an object to them, which is sort of an indication that most people would choose to do creative things if it wasn't for the economic structure that we live under, right?
For sure.
Which is unfortunate because like that's basically what I want to do, is I just want to make stuff, and I just can't get any company like Disney to hire me, you know? It sucks.
Yeah,
I'm like I want to make a Star Wars show, man. Fucking guy, like just let me make a Star Wars show. I swear I will make sure all the parts make sense. They keep hiring all these people that put parts in there that don't make sense. I think at least I could do better at that.
Yeah.
Like I've read all the other stuff.
I have family and stuff that's like extended family who's like mad at me because I'm not some famous artist by now.
You know, it's hard to say that like I'm trying, you know, because it means nothing to anybody when you go like I'm trying, you know,
right?
Because it's just like, oh, you're just lazy, you know, and it's like
it's like I don't believe you. Well,
yeah,
okay.
It's like I wish that was the case. I wish the case was I'm just lazy, and I could just be not lazy, and then, oh, here comes a level of productivity you've never seen before. Because I would choose to be not lazy, you know?
Right. Yeah, for sure.
100%. Because I'm always doing stuff. I feel like it. Vicky's always like, you're always doing stuff. Everyone's outside opinion is that, like, I'm doing stuff that's involved in my life, but I don't know. I wish it was just like me being lazy, because then I would just be like, oh, I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm going to be not lazy. But yeah, I don't know. I tried, man. We were so close to getting Dennerley to sponsor my channel, and I have to admit that was like a real disappointment. You know, it was disappointing. And once again, people don't care, but it was a real disappointment to me. I
feel like the part of the thing is that almost everybody is in the same boat.
Well, yeah. Well, the problem is the ultimate problem of like how things are structured now is that
it's like
you need sponsorship in order to make the thing, right?
Right.
But people don't want to sponsor stuff that's not big already, right? But the people that are big don't need those sponsorships.
Right.
Right? So, yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm the YouTuber, the minimum wage YouTuber. I don't know. I've been thinking about this concept because I'm trying to write a sketch around it of being the minimum wage YouTuber. Because like I've never had an audience that was big enough to go like, all right, screw it, I'm just gonna make content all full time, you know. And I was close to it at one point, and like honestly, if any of the 3 sponsorships, I don't want to mention the other 2 because I like Dennerley. I think that they're badass. They just chose not to. And I would hope to try and get them to sponsor something in the future. They might not, but you know, it's a possibility. But I don't want to mention the other 2 companies. But like, if one of those 3 companies came in at that point in time, I would have gone full time. That would have been the thing that put it over the edge. But I never got to that point where I could put it over the edge, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's just always been one of those things that like I have a big enough audience and I feel obligated to my audience because, and I like my audience. Like I know most everybody, I mean, not intimately or anything like that, but I know I can recognize a lot of the people around that are sponsoring and have sponsored and stuff like that, which is amazing. And I feel obligated to it. And then it's just like this weird kind of perpetual feeling of like, I'm really trying to accomplish something and not really having the time to be able to like dedicate a good amount of work to it, you know, is just a bummer. It's a bummer. I don't know. I'm just expressing myself as being a little bit depressed right now, but that's what it is, you know.
That's okay. This is I feel like I don't know. I feel like the world needs a change, but it's hard to tell how to do it.
Mm-hmm. Like, how do you accomplish said change? I don't know. I don't know.
Homeless.
Just be a homeless guy making YouTube videos on the streets.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I don't want to do that either. I've been homeless before. It sucks.
Yeah, it
royally sucks.
I haven't been homeless, but I have been close. I've gotten to the point where it was close.
Yeah, I was close a bunch of times. Way in the past. It's been a long time, but way in the past there were lots of times where it's like balancing the checkbook, which people don't do that anymore, but you know, balancing the checkbook and realizing like I've got $3.74. And I'm going to get charged by the bank because I only have $3.74.
Yep.
Cool. I better get more than $3.74 before they decide to charge me for not having enough money in my bank account, more
Right.
than is in my bank account. Which I don't know if they do that anymore. They probably still do because banks suck. But
It depends
there
on
was
the
a
bank.
time. There was a time that like if you had less than what was it, $50 in your bank account at the cycle time, like at the end of the month, they would charge you $5 or $10 just for having a low balance, which would put you in overdraft, and then they would charge you like $38 for the overdraft fee.
Right.
Which is bizarre world. It's just like bizarro world where you go like, I have negative money now. I know that Louis C.K. did a bit about this a while ago, so it's not really my own invention of talking about it, but it is parallel thought. If you've experienced it, you've thought about that, which is why Louis C.K.'s stand-up on that specifically is funny.
For sure, yeah.
I will point that out.
I used to have a bank account, and it turned out that if you did not have a job that gave you direct deposit,
oh, they charge you.
They would charge you $10.
Yeah, even though you were depositing your check in there, they would still charge you because you didn't have direct deposit. Right? Just for having a checking account there? Yeah.
Was because they had bought out my other bank.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, well, this is a
man,
freaking
I don't know if anybody in the chat's ever gone through that where you're like, oh, I've got a pretty good bank, man. They don't charge me any fees or anything weird or whatever. And it gets bought by like Bank of America or something, and then now all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, you owe us $75 a month to have accounts here, and you're like, what? Who are you? Like what? Okay, I'll be leaving now. I'll see you later. You know.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. It was. I think their thing was if you have less than, I think it was, you have to have $1,500 in your account steadily, and be getting at least $1,000 a month direct deposited to your account every month.
Right.
And then if you go below any of those things, then you're being charged $10 just for them to hang on to your money. Not that you've gone over.
Right.
But yeah.
Yeah. Will M, who's been a member for 20 months, is using his member chat here on us.
Ooh.
Says, who do we need to email to get these sponsorships going? We need to email as a collective. Okay. I'm going to answer this in a kind of a multi-staged answer here. If there is a company that is willing to sponsor any YouTube channel, I don't know who they are at this point. I don't know who to email. I don't know who to do anymore. I was doing it for a long time. I've emailed some people that I know are on the, advertising thing or whatever. The reality is this. We're kind of beyond that. We're kind of beyond the let's get a company to sponsor anything. We're sort of at the point now where, and I hate to say this because it just sounds so like condescending or defeatist or whatever or anything like that. It really boils down to the fans. I mean, if you're a fan of this channel, there are multiple things that you can do. You don't have to necessarily monetarily sponsor the channel. If you are sponsoring the channel, you're already doing a lot. But, one of the things that needs to happen is that doesn't happen within my community. This does not happen within my community, and I know it doesn't happen because YouTube has analytics behind it. People don't share this. People don't share my videos. People don't recommend my videos. People don't do that stuff. They just don't. And I have no clue why. I don't know why. There's no organic organic growth here other than 3 or 4 YouTubers or three or four subscribers a day. That's generally what I get is 3 to 5 subscribers a day, which is cool, but that still only works out to like 1,500 subscribers a year, which is nothing in comparison to somebody who has 1 million subscribers a year or whatever, right?
Right.
One of the things that's distinctly different in the people that are fans of my content and stuff like that is it doesn't get shared out. And I mean, I could literally go, let me see if I can look this up while I'm still talking. I don't know if I'll be able to. But one of the things that YouTube did a little while ago is they instituted this clip feature. I don't know if anybody has noticed it. It's down below a live stream where it's like a pair of scissors and it says clip underneath it. And you can cut out clips out of the live stream and promote either I'm an idiot or, hey, here's a good piece of advice, or, hey, here's something funny I thought happened. And it's one of the things that YouTube instituted. Where's my analytics button? It's right here. It's one of the things that YouTube instituted so that people like me that do live streams, that the people that follow their channel could make short content out of their stuff. I personally understand that I should hire an editor to help cut clips out of my content, take that content and make it into better edited content. That's one of the things that I should be doing. I don't have access to funds to pay somebody to do that at this point. Somebody asked me a while ago, well, what are you, a cheapskate? Why don't you just pay somebody to do that? Well, currently, I have to pay for daycare. I pay half of it. Vicky pays the other half. I pay $700 a month for daycare for Olivia. So does Vicky. That's $1,400 a month. And by the way, that pretty much chews up any money that could be spent on somebody like an editor, right? So one of the things that I try to promote with people is like, hey, if there's some content that you really like and you happen to be somebody who's on Reddit all the time, if you could share out those videos on Reddit, that's a huge help. If you could cut clips out of the content here, which is all just built into YouTube now, and share that kind of stuff out, that would be a huge help. That's like, and that's just a matter of somebody that like wants to spend a half an hour doing it. It's not like, hey, you got to spend money, you got to do this, you got to do that. You don't have to do any of that stuff. It's like you could literally just invest a little bit of your time or not, you know. It's a basically free thing that people could do to help promote stuff. And it's just like one of the things that I could think of that might be out there. I mean, if people are willing to make an email campaign to some advertising person somewhere, I feel like that's the same amount of effort that you could be putting into, you know, sharing videos out on Reddit or Facebook or Instagram or whatever, man, whatever websites are out there now. You know, like that would be something that is definitely equivalent to an email campaign. You know, I talk about lots of stuff on the show here. People being engaged and bringing ideas of things to talk about. You know, like I have a public email. People can email me stuff, stuff like that. If you want to email me things and go like, oh my God, here's a new product that I found. Can you look into it? Because I might have access to things that the average person doesn't, you know, that stuff is incredibly helpful. You know, emailing me about things that you want to hear about, like, hey, can you show me how to do this thing? Okay, that's a great idea for me to try to figure out how to work on, or maybe I can make a short video about it, or maybe I can make a long video about it. That's something that people that follow the channel could help out with. It's all sorts of stuff. One of the things that one of the really big YouTube channels that I sort of work with, one of the things that he does, and by the way, just so you guys know, it's not Corey. It's not Corey. It's a different. Yeah, whatever. But one of the big YouTubers I do work with, uses his so it's like a group of like 50 people who've been sort of involved on Discord and whatnot in the community that is sort of like approved members and whatnot, work on script reviewing, script overwriting, finding facts and information and things like that. Like basically like sourcing material and also like proofreading, proofreading scripts and things like that to make sure the accuracy of the information and stuff like that. That's kind of the stuff that everybody could do that doesn't really cost any money or anything like that. But yeah, I mean, I would love to tell you like, oh, hey, message whoever from CChem and tell them to sponsor the channel or whatever. But I just don't think it would do anything. I really don't. People don't even email their local representatives to tell them to not ban abortion, for instance, right? So I don't think that people are honestly going to email an advertising wing of some company. But, the thing is, like, I appreciate the sentiment. I really do. But I think that, like, if all that organic stuff, like, isn't happening, there's just the companies aren't motivated to do anything about it. Like I said, you either got to be big enough that you don't need the sponsorship and then the sponsors are beating down your door, or you're too small and they don't want to sponsor you because you're too small,
Right.
So it's weird. And a bunch of the new, excuse me, I got my water here. A bunch of the newer YouTube channels you're seeing out there, especially if we're talking like specifically in aquarium content and stuff like that, a lot of them are sponsored and set up before they even start their YouTube channel these days. There are at minimum 3 new channels that have like 100,000 subscribers after 6 months of creating content that I know behind the scenes are specifically employees from specific companies that they just cherry picked out of their employees to make videos with. And then you start to realize like, oh, wait a minute, this is somebody that works at blah 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 company. It's like Aquarium just picked somebody who worked there to be somebody who makes videos for them. So I don't know. It's weird. It's a weird world we're living in, and I'm going to keep doing my best. Hey, I want to say thanks to Alyssa for calling in. I appreciate it.
Thanks.
Because I
You're
called
welcome.
you. I interrupted your day. Hopefully we can have you here in person like next week or something.
Yeah, just like
if it's
let me
possible.
know.
Yeah. We're going to try to do today, and then there was like, there was something that I can't tell the internet that happened that was like, oh, I'm not going to do that then. Okay, so probably next week I think we'll be fine. But
Okay.
Vicky, I might have had an appointment that we might have had to go do, and then it turns out that we didn't go there. So it didn't matter, but all is good. Anyhow. We'll try to do next week. Maybe we'll even try to do Monday. How about that?
Ooh,
Yeah, see, Monday's no good, right?
No, let me look.
Oh, my God, you're looking at your calendar? Jesus, what's with women having calendars and everything? It's wild. It's wild stuff. Big difference.
Actually,
between...
my Monday is free. It's my
right.
Tuesday that's taken. So, yeah.
We could try to do Monday because that's the last day of January to try to get people to sponsor the channel.
Ooh, 131.
All right, let's try to do Monday. Hey, thanks everybody for watching. Thank you for hitting the like button. Thank you Rosie for super chatting. Super thanks to It's Nature Man for becoming a member again. And oh my God, I think they may have canceled their sponsorship. John Barnes, I'm not sure if you canceled it or not. Your thing got retracted. I don't know what happened, but I appreciate you thinking about us. And if you did become a member, welcome to the club. You all up in the club. Don't forget to sign up on Discord so we can cheer you appropriately. But yeah. Oh my God, we have a late minute here. $20 super chat from Will. What are we gonna do now, Alyssa? We got to talk during the super chat.
What does Will want to talk about?
It's blank. He just super chatted us $20. What do we do now? We go.
Well, if I could.
Boots
and cats and boots and cats and boots and cats and what?
What? Boots and pants and what? All right, I love you guys. I want to stay because of the super chat, but it is 4:07, which gives me like an hour and 3 minutes to get done what I got to get done before I go scoop up my sweet daughter, my sweet peanut baby bear. Love you guys. I love Alyssa. I love everybody. You guys are the best. I'm gonna hang up on Alyssa. I hung up on Alyssa. Oh, God. I hung up on her. Oh, no. What do we got to do? It's music time.